Welcome to the paddleboard update. Day 9 of quarantine lockdown. So I've run out of any materials, glue, wood, can't go anywhere, can't do anything. So I've come to a standstill. So I decided to waste a little bit of your time while I'm in the distress of being locked down for 14 days. Anyway, let's get to the update, and I will share with you all that's been accomplished over the last little while, and hopefully you can learn something. Probably not. When we left off with the last video, just had flipped it and only one side was covered. I'll spare you a lot of the pain of repetitive gluing on strips, but as you can see here, just a lot of clamping, a lot of creative clamping, and getting the board closed in. I changed to glue at some point because it was easier to work with Titebond. I would probably use Titebond after this. And then you can see I was trying to figure out what to do with these side rails. They can't be square, they have to be rounded. And so I mulled that over while I glued on some more strips and some more strips. There's a lot of gluing strips on. And then I decided, let's tackle these side rails. So as you can see here, I started gluing on strips of cedar. And I didn't really have enough clamps. So on this bottom section, or the first layer of cedar strips, I just stapled them in place because they'll be covered anyway. And I just put some 45s where they came together. And that's the first layer of side rails on. I had originally thought I was going to use these long cedar boards. They're beautiful. But it was just too much trouble to get them to bend into place. And I decided I would go with just the simple strips and build them up. As you can see, there's 2 layers here now. And I just tried to sand a little bit of that to see what that would end up looking like. It's not the best, but it serves the purpose, and it turned out okay in the end. There's a few little gaps that will need to be filled in with some sawdust and glue, but nothing that can't be easily overcome. And there I just put a 45, slide the next piece under that, and it helped with the clamping process. And then I just rounded off the corner to make it sort of feel like it was rounded, and that seemed to be working out pretty good. Then I did a lot of this, a lot of sanding, never-ending sanding, but slowly it started to take form and shape. And then I fashioned the tail piece on and got that, taped it in place, and then did some shaping of that. It's still not completed, but we're getting there. And of course, every 5 minutes I have to take this guy out and let him pee. Life is a lot like building a paddleboard. You're going to make mistakes along the way. When you first start out, you don't know what you're doing, but you just stay at it. And eventually, through the good, the bad, the ugly, you end up with something that looks like a paddleboard or a life. A little philosophy. Thanks for joining me in the update of the San Jacinto paddleboard. COVID lockdown 2021.